Today we're going to look at verse 8. This gets at the heart of one of the things that I think that congregation was going through, and that was people trying to lead them astray, trying to tell them what they needed. And let's just, I always like to look at what the word actually says, because Paul's going to give us an idea of kind of what they were up against. And it's kind of not too different from what we often have to deal with today, all throughout social media and websites and all that. So here's Colossians 2 verse 8. He says, "See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit." Now again, he had talked about being established in the faith, right? Living according to what you were taught, right? Built up in Jesus. So he's saying that's what God wants for you. So someone comes along with some kind of philosophy, something that's kind of empty, something that depends on, or that it's according to, what does he say? Human tradition. Something that's according to the elemental spirits of the world and not according to Christ. That last part is the big deal. Somebody telling you that you need to have this kind of wisdom or knowledge, right? The key to life is having a resilient spirit or something, or you need to have, whatever it is, right? Your chakra or your aura or your, whatever energy thing it might be. I mean, that's what he's kind of talking about, right? Someone who's saying, you got to worship the sun, or you got to worship some other god or some other thing. Worship wealth, like wealth is where it's at. If your whole life should be about accumulating wealth, because that's going to be what gets you through, or wisdom and learning more things. If you can learn 8 languages, I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's awesome. I would love to learn 8 languages. But listen, man, if I were, it would be so that I could communicate with 8 different kinds of, languages with the gospel. Right, so if I hit someone who was talk to somebody who was French, I could tell them about Jesus in French or German or Chinese or Spanish or whatever it is. That's why I would want to learn those languages, not just so I would be the smartest guy in the room. See, that's empty. That's empty. That's all about me. See, that's the problem, and not about Jesus, not about Christ. It needs to be about Him. That's what matters. He's what matters. It's so somebody who tries to sell you something, man, that's not about Jesus. It might help you to balance your checkbook, but just don't latch onto it for your life, because Jesus is the one. He's already given you life. He suffered for you. He died for you. He rose for you, and He lives for you. He's with you today. We heard a couple of verses back. Christ in you is the hope of glory. You have that. You don't need this other thing, right? See it for what it is. See it for its limitations and its usefulness maybe in your life, but not ultimately, because that's reserved for Jesus and Jesus alone, all right? So hang on to Him. He's the ultimate man. He's what we need. In fact, He brings meaning to the languages and meaning to and purpose to the finances and all the other stuff. All right, and He puts it all together so that He might be, preached and the world saved because of that. All right, so let's hang on to that. Hit that subscribe button, share this with somebody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. We're going to be we're going to do verses 9 to 12 tomorrow on the Father. We'll see you then.